Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee, having some more tea with you guys here. And it's often said on the prepping channels, get out of the city. Don't be in the city, don't be in the high population areas. Get out to the country. You got a better chance to survive out in the country. And population centers are always going to be problem places if there's some type of SHTF, whether it's worldwide or regional. There's a couple caveats to that I have mentioned before, and I think they bear repeating. And this video basically comes about because of an article that I read here in the last couple of days about there's talk of either disbanding or greatly reorganizing or streamlining the Postal Service. And the Postal Service has been losing money for decades upon decades. And the Postal Service provides a certain amount of service out in the rural areas where we live. And this gets to the point of this video. We out in the rural areas are at the end of the line. We are at the end of the supply chain. We are at the end of the logistics network. And it's true, you don't want to be caught in a large population area if there is some type of major SHTF. Where do you think that the goods and the services and the order is going to be restored first? It's going to be restored in those large population centers. I live in a little small town in Michigan. Where do you think, if Michigan falls into some type of major SHTF, where do you think that they're going to distribute the food and the medicine and the relief and the aid first? Do you think that they're going to haul that out to the small towns in the rural areas, or do you think they're going to take that to Detroit? My guess is that stuff is going to end up in the large population centers. They don't really, the powers that be and the governmental entities and stuff don't really have a positive opinion of rural America, like the whole flyover state thing. We are at the end of the line here, and like that article that I read on the post office, if the Postal Service gets reorganized and that gets taken out of the delivery aspect of both online stuff that we order and different parts, goods, and services that get moved around, because a lot of businesses and manufacturing use the Postal Service too to move their parts and things around. That's not always private courier like UPS or whatever to deliver that stuff. If the Postal Service is taken out, what is that going to look like to people that live out in the rural areas? A lot of stuff that's delivered is delivered by UPS to the local post office. And then from there, it's taken, into the local routes and delivered to your doorstep, basically. It's just one of those things that if that service goes away, it's going to drastically affect, again, how we interact with the supply chain to get the things that we need. People order stuff for their pets. People order medication online. Look at all the different stuff that people order from, your big online retailers like Amazon and stuff. Most of the time, and when I order something on Amazon, it's because it's something that I need. It's something that I need here for my preparedness. It's something that we need here for the household, whatever. It's parts to fix something. That stuff all comes by the actual post office. So if that post office isn't there, is that going to raise the price? Again, raising prices, inflation and everything. If that postal service, if that's taken out of the mix, you're going to see the further you're out of the large population areas, the more problems you're going to see getting stuff again. So it's always back to that supply chain. And it's nice living out in the country. It's nice having, decent neighbors and being able to do the things that you want to do in the country that you can't do in the city. Again, there's some drawbacks to being out in the country. The country isn't always a guaranteed, just because you live out in the country doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to fare better than you did in other places. And I think that's things that people don't think about a lot. People don't talk about it. They figure, well, if I live out in the country, everything's going to be good to go. I've had done videos on this before. The country isn't a guaranteed means of survival. There's still problems out here, and then there's still problems that are still basically kind of formulating yet. And this one with the post office was one that really kind of stuck in my mind. I'm thinking to myself, I look around, I look at my neighbors, I look down the street, I look at local businesses that get stuff delivered to them literally every day through the Postal Service. If that post office in our town no longer exists, there's going to be some real problems there, and how that's all going to work out yet, I'm not sure how that's going to work with the economy the way it is now. And it's something that I want the people that listen to my channel to think about. What would their world look like if they no longer got mail in those means, or if the post office only delivered, let's say, once a week? And I've heard that too. I've actually heard that from people that work at the post office or have worked at the post office in the past. There's been talk of, you only get your stuff delivered once a week, because then that would cut down on that daily delivery. No delivery on Saturday and Sunday. Maybe if it's a large business or something, they might be able to get their stuff twice a week, but just average residential people, maybe once a week, if that. So think about that. Keep that factored in the back of your mind. But there could be problems with the Postal Service and with the delivery again of goods in the future, and something we need to keep an eye on. But anyway, this is Modern Refugee. Appreciate all my subscribers out there. Hope you guys got a little information, a little entertainment out of this video again. Just something to keep an eye on and another thing to think about. You guys have a good one.